for the house.
Hey, I remember.
Yeah, and Jimmy, do you know every kid who has an ID now must also have a KRA pin for you to get into a driver's license.
It's not a bad
meaning
thing.
you must also file
Yes.
returns.
You know, that's, and last week, Kwenye to kumaliza your story. So I don't know, I think the number is now at 8.5 million taxpayers.
Okay.
Yeah. Against a country of, I don't know.
Taxpayers or guys who are registered for tax paying?
Okay, what's the difference?
Because there are people who are registered for tax paying by filing nil returns. They have nothing to declare. You've not made money in that year.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you declaring?
Right. Yes.
So that you've not paid tax, by the way. Those are two very different. I think we have almost 50 million taxpayers in this country.
Because one way or another, you will pay tax. Okay, by mkachi unalipa tax.
Yes, just
okay,
that there are few who pay as you want, because very few are employed. But you always want to show Kenyans that you have this small number of people paying tax. No.
So
everybody.
So okay, so I increase the tax bracket. What do they mean then? Increasing tax bracket. Yeah.
Yes, you have been very focused on pay as you want, the employed people, right? Now we need to a lot of people are not employed. They are now doing their own business, their own hustles.
Yes.
Those are the ones you're saying that you want to net and bring into the tax so that you all pay tax together.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
Now, these other caliber of people, the ones who are not employed, those are the ones we should actually support. Those are the guys who actually grow the economy. Because these are the guy who's running his chicken farm.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the guy who's running his pig
industry,
farm, the creative industry. How do we, because no one is refusing to pay tax, Jimmy. Nobody is refusing to pay tax. The issue is, how is that money being used? How is that 92%? Where is it going? When you pay that tax, then the road that you normally use to ferry your cargo
should be well tarmacked.
Should be well tarmacked. But you don't tell us to pay tax, then tell us, we still don't have enough. What do you mean
Yes.
In fact, Jimmy, one of the things I saw yesterday, and this debt, you're asking, where is e-debt? But you know how governments pay debt is not the way individuals pay debt. Once you get a loan, let's say with Stanbic, for example, and you're employed, you pay every month according to your, on the payday, your 35%. Employer.
Is it supposed to be 30% of your income? Of your salary.
Yeah. Ish. So you pay, like, you're paying your taxes, because that's when your money comes, that's when it gets deducted. Right. So you can see it going down over time.
Right.
The way governments borrow money is through treasury bills and bonds or overseas, right? So you're given like 100 billion, right? Like the 2 billion. Let's talk about the 2 billion that was paid.
Yes.
This was picked in 2014 through the previous government.
Right.
Now they were to pay the amount after 10 years.
Okay.
So in between the years, you're just paying interest.
Yes.
So if the interest was 10%, you're paying 200 billion. No, it was 2 billion, so you're paying 200 million every year.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel that pain. Then maturity comes, when now you have to pay the entire 2 billion shillings. Yote. Now that's when you see the governments now running around trying to find where do we get this money. That's when you saw the interest rate, the exchange rate fluctuate. Now, and they came and told us we've cleared paying this money.
But they have
how did they pay it? They took another loan. Payable in 2031. Yeah, so and that's what they. So basically, so the question is, are these terms favorable now, or are they worse? Right? So what happens in 2031? Will we be back in the same cycle, running again, trying to find why are we not able to reduce this debt to say here to Melipa without having to
borrow from somewhere else? Yes.
So and then when you say you're paying debt, that's what you're saying. You're saying you're paying debt, but the total amount keeps increasing. So guys are asking, so which debt is this you're paying? Yeah, because if we took debt to pay off older debt, have we really paid this debt? Because our loan book should read $2 billion less if you've paid for it, but it doesn't, because it's not a loan that has been taken that you should pay in 2031. Yeah,
I was going to say something nasty, like you know.
So I think, and that's what I like, and this information is there. I remember you sent me that article.
Yes, I did.
And I circled and I told you, Jimmy, look at this. And I was like, what? We have not paid this money.
Okay, so tell me. By the way, Bona Wasila, we're trying to call you. Wasila is a lawyer by profession, averse with matters pertaining to what we're about to discuss. So there was a ruling. Was it a ruling?
Yes.
That put banks on the spot.
Oh, yes.
What does that mean? How bad is it?
It's a very interesting ruling.
Interesting. Okay.
And interestingly, it's also done by the Apex Court of Kenya, the Supreme Court of Kenya. So basically, I don't know when an appeal can be done. It's the same court. I'm not a lawyer, or they have to go to the East African court, which said now anyway the Supreme Court is
go back to your country. Your Supreme Court, you know,
like was told.
Yes.
So they actually said that there's been a law that for banks to increase interest rates, they must get an approval from the CS. Now, they haven't been doing that. I think there were some laws that were passed hereby.
They found a loophole.
And that thing stopped happening. So the question is, all these, I know will hit a lot of Gen X's because they're the ones with the loans to educate the kids, to build the houses, and all of this, to build businesses.
Yes.
So all those all those times that they wrote you an email and told you, by the way, from next month, your loan goes from 12% to 14%.
Yes.
Another 3 months, actually the early part of this year, there was really a lot of those loan hikes. And you see, once they do that, they account for that as income. Because the interest rate has gone up. That's how the banks make their money.
True.
So that goes to their core capital. So once that thing is declared illegal, can I now go back to my bank and tell them, by the way, hii loan will nipatia at 9%. That's the initial document we signed.
Umeipandisha mpaka
saa hii iko 15.
Kutaendaje?
Nirudishie pesa yangu.
That's what it means, though.
That's what it means. It's illegal. The Supreme Court has
said,
in my view, my understanding of this is those increments, unless the CS
approved them, and they have not been approved.
I don't think the CS approves all of these loans. All those loan increments.
Those increments, the rates.
Yeah? I know they've been basing it on the central CBR rate and all of this. Yeah, that's the mechanisms they developed. But now the question is, you gave me a loan at 10%. You should have known the next, if it was in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, you have deposits that you can use to run these loans. But apparently they did not. So when the interest rates go up for deposits, they want to come and tell you, but a cost of money. But that's not the money I borrowed. Charge the one who's borrowing now. Because now your interest rates of borrowing are higher.
Me when
I borrowed you, I should have had your plans. But now you're all swept. And unfortunately, Jimmy, this is one of the reasons you've seen a lot of auctions happen. Because you knew you're going to be paying 20K a month, for example, for this car. Imefika 25, 27. And there's no way you can make that kind of money. Because fuel has also gone up. A lot of things have also gone up. So gari kanakuja kanachotwa. So even whatever you had paid is also sort of lost.
What?
So my question, I know that the risky part is if this thing is implemented, a lot of banks are going to be shaken seriously. If it goes the way I'm thinking.
Yes. Because
then why did you increase my rates? Then return my money. Why did you sell my car? Then return my money. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of shake-up in banks. A lot of, if that happens, a lot of core capital, a lot of capital is going to be eaten up. Because then you'll be told, you have to raise $1 billion. And the other day they were told them they wanted to take it 10 billion for core capital. So you're going to have maybe be left with very few, very strong banks and have mergers of banks. Because now you're going to a point where you've declared this as profit, probably even paid dividend. And now guys are coming and tell you, hey, by the way, you did it was illegal. Yeah. So can you give me back my money? And by the way, you sold my car. My business went under. This is how much it costs.
Phone lines are open 0719 012 600 katika mtandao at SpiceFM KE. Hashtag is Jimmi Gathu live. We're live on YouTube, so send your comments there. And more specifically, kama wewe ni mtu unaelewa sheria, lawyer, just give us a call to explain it. Just help us understand.
The financial implications are terrible for everyone.
What?
Girl, you got it going on.